Alright, let's get this show going, everybody. Alright. Alright, we be streaming, everybody. So, hello, you can see me. Hello, you can see me. Alright. Hello, everybody. So, we got a really exciting project for us this afternoon, everybody. Or this evening, depending on where you are in the world. Or this morning, I don't care, so. Alright, there we go. So, should be a relatively quick stream. What's up, Naveed? So it should be a relatively quick stream. We're doing the Intro S100, folks. Nothing too crazy. So just a quick shout out. This is not a sponsored build. This is a build that I paid for with my own money. It's a really, really cool build. This should be also a very quick build. Like this should not be like a 2.5, 3 hour stream. We should probably be out of here about 90 minutes, even with this being a full size. This is the Vertex Intro S100. This is a keyboard that ran earlier this year, and it was an amazing price point at about $220. And it's made by the people at Vertex, who make some amazing stuff. Like they're up there with like top tier manufacturers. So I actually ordered 2 of these. I have another one over in my over off camera. It's actually for a friend. So a friend and I went in on this. I got the Half-Life colorway, and he got the Fuji colorway. He's a big fan of pink. I'm not building his board. He wants to build it himself, but we're going to basically be building my board. I have not even opened this. I took it out of the shipping box because I don't want to put my address out on Twitch, but I haven't even taken it out of the plastic, so you're going to see my kind of first reactions of this particular build. So I'm really excited for this one. So let me grab one of my little box cutters here, and we'll get this board open. So I'm really excited for this build. This was a really great price point. Also, extras for this board. I ordered this through Bowl. Bowl's going to be having extras of this board on Friday. So if anyone is interested in getting this board, as of the time of this filming, Friday, September 19th. Bowl is going to be having limited extras of this board. I didn't get an extra PCB, so I am going to be trying to get some extras for this board. I just want an extra PCB to have on hand. When I ordered this board, I did not have the mindset to order extra PCBs for this particular board. So like Naveed, $220 for a full size that is like made by Vertex and like has their high quality manufacturing. Oh my god, this is a no-brainer. Dude, on Mech Market on Reddit, dude, someone was selling one of these for $150, brand new, unopened in the box, and it went instantly. I saw it like an hour after it happened, but I went through the comments and like everyone, dude, I'll tell you this, but also Naveed, like one of these was going for $150 on Mech Market on Reddit. So like honestly, I'm also for believe it or not, being responsible with financial decisions. The fact that one of these went for $150 on Mech Market, if you're patient and you wait, you should be able to get one of these dirt cheap. So like my personal recommendation, if you're not in a rush to get it, my honest to God recommendation, wait for the extras to sell. People like me are already getting their models in on from the group buy, and this was ordered like 6-7 months ago. Some people may change their mind, or they may not want this keyboard anymore. They may have got something cooler. So what's really cool is just wait, man. Someone's gonna sell this like at below MSRP, and you're gonna get it for dirt cheap. So that's what So honestly, my honest to God recommendation: wait. I do want a PCB. But honestly, like I would honestly tell people, if you can swing it, try and get some extras from Bowl, or like wait for Mech Market. The fact that one of these went for $150 was absolutely insane to me. Like that was like the deal of the day on Mech Market the other day, which I don't know why they weren't selling it at MSRP. If it's unopened in the box, like they never even built it, like dude, you could have sold it for $220. But I don't know. So I'm gonna open up the accessories box first. Like I literally have not seen this with my own eyes. I've only seen the build. I think I saw like Captain Sterling's and like Alex Odos' streams months ago. So I really have not seen this board in person. So let's see what we got. We get stabilizers with this one. That's awesome. I have a set of Type Plus stabilizers I was planning on using. So these are looks like cherry clip-ins. Oh, that's really nice. That's a nice addition. So nice cherry clip-ins. I was not expecting to get a set of stabilizers. That's really nice. We have the gaskets and all the mounting points. We are going to try and top mount this depending on what we want to do. So let's see. So that's a little hardware. So here's our plate. So in this board, well, thank God that's not the PCB. I just dropped stuff. It's okay. I feel like Linus right now. So this is the actual plate. So it's a single plate. So some like full-size boards, like the Seal especially, are opting to have split plates. This is one giant plate, so this is very similar to like my Linworks Dolphin Max, my DNWorks 925, and like my Matrix Labs 100 NG. So like this plate is very reminiscent of that. So again, once we get towards the end of stream, I'll bring out the other big expensive full size. Oh, dude, I'm totally like Linus too when it comes. I just drop it. Thankfully, it was like the hardware and the stabilizers, so nothing too kind of expensive. Also, lttstore.com, everybody. Not that they're paying me. I love that joke. So let's take a look at the PCB. I mean, this is a full size. So this is a big boy PCB. So let's kind of see how they integrate. Oh my God, it's tri-mode. Oh, this is sick. I was not expecting this. So this is a tri-mode PCB. So I got the little USB dongle. This is interesting. None of my full sizes are tri-mode, so that's going to be sick. So let's take a look at this PCB. So I did opt for solder. This is awesome. Yeah, this is a tri-mode PCB. This is sick. So I think that's really awesome because I'll tell you, like, when I look at like boards that offer like 2.4 gigahertz wireless or Bluetooth, it's normally the hot swap only. So the solder versions on a lot of boards that I've gone on Group Buy, I don't know if it came with the batteries. I haven't looked at the case yet. This is literally my live reaction to this board. So we have a little switch here to switch between modes, which is really nice. So, oh, it is really stiff, by the way, too. Yeah, so it's a really stiff little switch. We have the LED indicator lights for what mode we're in. So I'll open up the case and we'll take a look at it. So it's pogo pins, so that's really nice. That's a really nice touch. And there's a wide variety of layouts too. So I opted to go for Win keyless. Of course, we're going Win keyless. So we're using the 7U space bars, but you could do a 6.25U space bar, which is really nice. You can do split numpad, so all your 2U buttons on your numpad you can split, which is really nice. You can do, it supports ISO. You have split right shift and split left shift, which is really nice. Step caps lock, split backspace. Like, this supports everything. So that is fantastic from a solder PCB. So I really love that. So we're gonna put this back in the bag, just because I really want to take some time to look at. Since this is Cherry MX, I feel good taking my time, really kind of looking at everything. So we put the PCB back in the box until we're ready to put stabilizers on and switches and whatnot. So, all right. So there we go. Because the star of the show really is the colorway I got. Because a lot of people asking me online, like, what's your avatar? And if you look at like my Twitch or any of my social media handles, like my avatar is Gordon Freeman. My first name actually is Gordon, which is really cool. But like, so I tell people like why do they ask that? So like Half-Life is like one of my all-time favorite video game series. Like if you're into old games, please play Half-Life. It's amazing. It's one of those kind of really historically significant games. Oh my God, that is amazing. So this is the Half-Life colorway. So like this is an orange and black gray colorway. So let me pull it out. Oh my God. And it has a decent hefty weight to it. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a decent weight. Like, that's a pretty decent weight. Oh, thanks, man. So that's really fun. Let me put the box to the side. Let me get this plastic open, and we'll kind of take a look at the coating, see what they did. So let me get my little box cutter out, and we'll kind of do that. But yeah, that's like my all-time favorite video game series. So for a while, I've wanted to do a Half-Life themed keyboard. And when I saw that I knew this was a product I wanted to support. And when I saw that they had a colorway that was black and orange, and it was called Half-Life, I'm like, okay, that's the one I need to get. So that's really cool. Oh my God, this is really sick. So one thing about this has a hidden screw design, which I'll be completely honest, like screws go in at a 45-degree angle to kind of hold the top case on. I'll be completely honest, I am not personally a fan of that. But to each their own. It doesn't affect sound. It's just I'm lazy and I like easy access to my screws in the bottom of the case. But yeah, this looks gorgeous. I mean, for $220, I'll tell you too. This is an E-coat, so this is not anodized. It's really gorgeous. The camera, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Definitely in the black, you can see that glitter and sparkle. That's definitely reminiscent of like Matrix Labs boards. Matrix is really kind of well known for like how amazing their coatings are. So this is really sick. And again, also the profile is like that simple wedge. So I'll put it on my side profile. So that's a nice kind of simple wedge, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad my basic camera setup can pick up that glitter. So, I mean, I think for $220, this was kind of a no-brainer. Like, this was one of those boards you just kind of had to support. But like I said, these are going to be dirt cheap on Mech Market. I guarantee you. The fact that one went for $150 the other day on Mech Market, brand new, like, you should be able to, like, once people start getting these and people get them from the extras, Like, these should probably be sub $200. Like, for full size, that's not like Keycron or QWERTY keys. Hell yeah, that's awesome. So what's also cool too, you have, in addition, you have these light bars on the bottom. So there's an LED light bar on the bottom right here, which is really cool. So that can be customized to whatever color you want. I'm probably going to put it to either white or orange, depending on it. And there's also a little light indicator right here. So they don't have to be on. So if you're not a fan of RGB or lighting, you can turn it off. But I'm probably going to set them to orange, just to kind of go with the full theme. And another thing too that's really cool about this board is there is this kind of PVD blocker right here. So this can either stay here if you really like the look of the PVD. I think I'm going to remove it because I want to put 4 macro keys. Kind of, I'll show you. It's very reminiscent of my Linworks Dolphin Max. So you see above my numpad and my Dolphin Max, I have these kind of macro keys. So I think I really like the look of this. It's kind of like what Keychron does with their full sizes. So I'm definitely going to remove the PVD blocker and put 4 switches up there. Because I think that'll be really cool. I like having media keys too, which is really nice. So, and another thing too, I'm noticing, I see the pogo pins down here, and they also have a sheet of plastic down here, which is really nice. So a sheet of acrylic. So that prevents any shorting, especially with like the solder PCB. So I really like that they included that acrylic. So we have internal stainless steel weight. So I know they went with stainless steel just to kind of, to have a nice weight, but also to keep price down, which is pretty cool. So I know Naveed asked about the, if there's any magnets. So I do want to take this apart and kind of see how it's built. I'd love to see where the heck the magnets are. So I mean, this is a Cherry MX build. I can solder this in like 15 minutes. So I'm definitely down to take my time. And I think I actually might use the screwdriver they included actually. Because one thing about these angled hidden screw designs, you got to be careful because you can scratch your coating pretty easily. So let's do that. So let's kind of see this and kind of go from there. So we'll go to an angle. I really don't like the 45. This is probably my only gripe and nitpick. I don't like the screwless designs where you go in at a 45-degree angle. It's just really easy to screw up your coating and whatnot if you're not really careful, especially once it's built. So I'm just being really careful as I take these screws out, just so I don't scratch any of this beautiful E-coat, because this orange is gorgeous. I love it. Because I don't have an orange keyboard. That's probably, I think, the one color I don't have. I mean, I'm going to get the Baron BP1 in soon for prototype, which is will be in the orange colorway. But also, too, folks, this is, since we're on a full-size kick, Wednesday is going to be our first sponsored stream. We're doing the ETAR 87 from the Bloody Eyes, and that's going to be run by Click Clack, which is going to be really sick. So I'm going to be the earliest. I'm going to be the second reviewer who's going to take a look at that board. Lightning looked at it a couple weeks ago. I'm going to be looking at it on Wednesday, September 17th. And then other creators like Alex Odos, Jay at Prototypist, Xin Wang are also going to be looking at the boards, but a little bit later. So in terms of like the lead up to the group buy, it's Lightning and me who are the ones who are going to be looking at it. So we'll be on at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Wednesday, which will be really cool. So we're really excited. The Bloody Eyes is really, really hyped and excited for that build. And I'm excited for our first sponsored build here. I just want to see if I'm pulling it right. Okay, got these screws. I'm just making sure I'm doing this right. Oh, well, that's stupid. From what I can see, there are screws on the bottom as well. What the hell? That makes no sense to me. So we have these hidden screws right here. And then we have screws on the bottom. Okay, well, I'm learning how to build. I have not seen. So I think for the ETAR, I think we're gonna go either Gateron. I'll probably help people decide in stream. I'm between 3 circuits: Gateron Type A's, Gateron Grayish, or Cherry MX Nixies. That's realistically what I'm feeling for that build. And then keycaps, honestly, I'm going to try every single freaking keycap. I'm going to have the ETAR 87 for a few months, actually. The Bloody Eye said I can keep them. I can hold on to the prototype until I get my unit. So I will have the board for a few months. Probably till the end of the year, I'll have that board on hand. So we're going to do a bunch of Alps builds. I'm going to do a ton of different Cherry MX builds with that board, too. I want to showcase what keycaps look good on it. Because we don't really see a lot of custom full sizes coming to the market. Especially an F-Rollis full size. I don't know. So I'm going to see. So I don't know where those accent screws are. So we're going to kind of see. I'm going to take this thing apart and just kind of see how the hell it goes together. Because I have no idea how this thing goes. It's been months since I watched any of the streams. So I want to see what those that is so weird. Okay, that's a really weird design. That is bizarre. I've never seen a board do that. So it's a combination of normal screws and screwless. So that's really weird. So let me kind of explain how this thing goes together. That is so strange. So this board, you have 4 45-degree angle screws that go in on the top case. So that holds the top case in. And then you have 4 screws on the bottom of the case under where the feet go that also hold the top case in. So that's a really, really weird design. That's very bizarre. I mean, hey, Vertex, I mean, they make good stuff, so I'm not, it's just more of a nitpick on my end. But that's pretty cool. So we have our pogo pin connector here, which I think is really nice. That just makes us, I hate dealing with JST connectors. So we'll put our top to the side. I do want to pull out the weights because Naveed asked if there are batteries included. I mean, that would be a great value if batteries are included. So I say, what the hell? Let's just go for it. I need a different bit. So let me get my bits out. We got to take out the acrylic piece first. So that's something that's really nice that they include this bottom sheet right here. Because that is a common thing. Especially I come from a lot of Alps builds, and it's pretty common for Alps builds to like short out. So you want like a tape mod on the bottom just to protect the pins. Or you want some kind of bottom foam, not for sound, just to protect it from shorting. So we're going to pull these out, and I want to see what's under these weights. So we got time. This is a pretty simple, straightforward build. So like I'm not too worried about tearing this board apart. But I do want to see all the components of this particular build. This is a pretty interesting board. And again, it's one I've been really excited for. Again, it's weird. I ordered the seal well before this board. And the seal is still, I think it's still in ClickClack's warehouse. That board had so many freaking delays. And I mean, Vertex, I think, kind of went psycho with doing two freaking two full-size projects basically at the same time, which I do not recommend. I mean, a lot of people, this board is also kind of an outlier because it is a proper, fully custom board. I don't know how Vertex made money on this. The fact that they were charging $220 for this freaking keyboard is insane to me. Because most custom full-size, like the Seal, for example, which is Vertex's other full-size project, was $400. And to be completely honest, most full-size projects are north of $500. That's just the nature of how full-sizes are. These things are very difficult to manufacture, and you're not making a lot of them. The exception being like QWERTY keys or like Keychron, but they have like the infrastructure and the capital in place to be able to build hundreds or even thousands of units at a very low at a very low price per unit. So full sizes are tough because I was at Keyblight, like my 3 full size, like my Matrix Labs 100 NG, my Linworks Dolphin Max, my DNWorks 925, all those boards were north of $500-$600. Most of them are closer to like $700 realistically. And I was talking with Canon Keys, like at Keyblight. The Canon Keys reps were at Keyblight, and they were showcasing a. So here's our acrylic piece really quick before I talk about Canon Keys. So it's a decent size. I'd say like I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeters thick. For us Americans, I'd say this is probably like I don't know, an 1/8 of an inch thick, which is pretty nice. So this will protect again your PCB from shorting, which is really nice. So I'm going to put that to the side because I really want to get a look under these weights and see if there are batteries or if that is something that I would have to add up for myself because this board did come from China. That's where it was manufactured, but I want to see if they were able to get the bat. I know some countries are really weird with importing. The plastic sheet should not affect sound. It's more for just protecting shorting. What really affects your sound is going to be foam. So there is no foam included. Another thing with this keyboard, there is no foam included. The way Vertex recommends building it is completely foamless. Now, if you want to mod the keyboard after the fact and put your own set of foam in here, go for it. That's the fun of keyboards, is modding everything. But we're just kind of pulling our screws to the side. So I want to get these screws out of here. All right, let's get these. All right, there we go. One more. I think I just need to pull up one of these weights, and we should be able to see under the weights because normally that's where they hide the batteries. So I gotta be careful because this is stainless steel. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so we're gonna have to pull out both weights because I think they hid the battery. Yeah, there are batteries in here. These are just the weights. I need to pull off both weights because I need to get the bottom weight. So there's like 3 freaking weights in this thing. Which is kind of crazy. So we got to pull them all out because I do want to see the internals of how this board is built. This is just going to make it really fun. So like I said, we have plenty of time on this stream. So like the actual soldering and assembly of the board is going to be quick. Like how we did the Hippo stream. Like that was a really quick build. Nothing too crazy on that. So I just need to take these internal stainless steel weights out. Let me be really careful on how I take them out. Oh, one is still screwed in. Give me a second. There we go. All right, so there's our other stainless steel weight. Let's get that out. Put our screws over here. So let's kind of take a look at the stainless steel weight. So they're a decent. So you have some Vertex. So you can see the machining marks, which I think is a nice touch. I mean, it's internal. Once it's built, you're never going to see it. But you have the Vertex engine, so that's the design studio. So Vertex, really good people, really good design studio. And then that's the intro logo, which is really cool. So this is one of their kind of sublines, which is really cool. So we're gonna put these to the side for right now, and then we're gonna now we can actually take out the actual bottom weight. So there's 3 weights in here, so it has a pretty decent hefty weight, which is really nice. Because I really do want to see what the heck is going on in terms of electronics, because there also are LEDs integrated into this board. So I got to be careful with like the pogo pin connector too. So we're just going to be really cool. So the machine marks look awesome. I think this is a really, really sick build. All right. You got to be really careful. Oh, yeah, there are batteries in here. Holy cow. I got to be really careful. All right. I got to be super careful with this. So I don't think I can take it apart, but oh, shit. Okay. Well, I guess I did take it apart. Well, this is fun. All right. Well, everybody, there are batteries. As you can see, there are batteries. I got to put them back very carefully because they're like taped in wires and everything, so I don't want to break this stuff. So give me a second. I got to carefully put these in because I don't think Vertex really intended for idiots like me to like take these apart. So I think they just kind of meant like, oh, we have batteries. Take our word for it. So there are batteries, everybody. So I don't recommend opening up the bottom compartment because it's all kind of taped and there's wires and all kinds of crap that's fragile. So you just got to be really careful with that. All right, cool. Let me put the bottom case back on. And we'll go from there. Okay. Give me a second. So yeah, there is, it's pretty good. So yes, there are batteries. Again, I don't know. I'm in the United States. I know the United States really is an anal, like at least our customs aren't really uptight about batteries. I know certain countries are very uptight. So this is just for the United States. If you're in the United States, you're going to get batteries. I don't know how other countries are going to work. I know like countries like, for example, I know like South Korea, for example, their import laws are very restrictive on batteries. So just kind of your mileage may vary in terms of what you can and cannot import into your own country. So just kind of be mindful of that. That's something to note. So let me just see my bottoms here. Perfect. So mileage may vary. Sorry, I put the screws in over here. So it does have batteries, which I think is pretty sick. So I'm gonna put the weights back together and just put the bottom case assembly together, just so we're all good to go and everything. So there we go. But yeah, I think this is very well built. I think their coating is outstanding. Overall, I think they did a really, really nice job on this board. So really, really great job, Vertex, so far. So my only gripe really so far is just those 45-degree 4 screws on the top. I think that's my personal opinion. I think that's stupid. I mean, if you're gonna do either you commit to screws externally or you fully commit to hidden screw design. I don't know why they went with the hybrid of it. I'm just wiping off these weights because I don't want my grubby fingerprints, even though I'm never gonna see these once this thing is built. Like the way I plan on building this is gonna stay. This is how it's gonna stay. So, but yeah, a really cool board. I'm really excited for this. So we're gonna put it back together, and once we get the bottom case back together, then we'll start putting the PCB together. That's kind of our main focus for today. But this is a really gorgeous build. I think they did a really tasteful job with it. And I think also I'm really excited to see the LED integration because I really want to have some nice orange LEDs on this just to kind of go with my Gordon Freeman Half-Life theme. And once I get it back together, I'll also just showcase the keycaps and switches we're going to use. There's just a lot of screws on this bottom weight assembly we got to do, so we're just getting that. But it's a nice weight. Like this is some pretty decent quality for $220. This is pretty good. But I mean, it's Vertex. They really know what they're doing. This is actually my first Vertex board that I've owned. But one thing about Vertex, they're very well regarded in the space. Within the hobby, like Vertex is one of those like well-respected design studios and manufacturers. So like if you're going Vertex, you just know you're getting a quality product. Just want to wipe off this acrylic, make sure no bad stuff getting into it. There we go. Got our stuff. Let's put that to the side. So really good board. I think overall this is a really, really good choice by Vertex. I think they did it. So far I like what I see and feel with this board. It's pretty good. So, but again, my only gripe is those 2 screws for the top, for the hidden screw design. That just doesn't make sense to me. That's very questionable, but that's nitpicking. So I don't think that's not going to affect sound. It's just I'm lazy, and when I do take my boards apart, I don't want to take my keycaps off. I'm lazy. So that's just it. So we're just getting these screws held down, but I do think this is a nice touch having this acrylic bottom piece, because that's just going to prevent shorting, especially for those of us who want to go solder on this board. This is really nice. Another thing too, someone did ask me about this board. This board is not Alps compatible. I've become the Alps guy as of recent. This board does not support Alps. So just as an FYI, anyone interested in doing Alps, you're going to have to wait. If you want to do a full size, you got to do the seal. So just be aware, folks. The seal is fully is Alps compatible. This board is not. So this only supports Cherry MX. So, which I am okay with, because the only way I was going to do this was Cherry MX. Like, because the way I want this board themed and built and kitted out, it needs to be, of course I lost a screw. Figured out. Oh, there it is. So there we go. There's my screw. That's what's fun about doing it on stream, everybody. You see all my mistakes and when I lose stuff or drop stuff like Linus. I mean, I'm not as cool as Linus. I can't rock socks and sandals like that guy does. But yeah. Really good overall. I think they did a really good job here. So, all right, we're going to put the case in the top case away for right now. And we're going to focus on the PCB and plate assembly and getting our stabilizers lubed up. So, let's get our plate assembly out. Let's get our PCB out. Put the PCB to the side for right now, which is really cool. Let's put my plate over here. Yeah, let's put it over here. All right, I want to showcase keycaps. So, what we're doing for keycaps is GMK. That's my go-to for Cherry MX keycaps. They're expensive, but this is a cool set. I got this set specifically for a potential Half-Life build. I got this set like almost a year ago. I've had it for a while, but it is GMK Carbon R2. So this is it's not explicitly themed to Half-Life, but it basically is. It's spiritually themed to Half-Life. Which is so cool. So you could either do one with the gray. My alphas are all gray, but you could have done one where the alphas are beige. I wanted gray because I knew like the darker coating on this board is gray, and I figured as much as I love beige, I want gray and orange. And what I got here is I also got the novelty set for this particular board. And here's part of the why I wanted the novelty set. Is those. Those are going to be one of my escapes. And to quote the G-Man, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So this is going to be super sick. So like as a huge Half-Life fan, I've played all the games. I am so excited to get this build together and to be able to like finally have a keyboard that's themed to my like all-time favorite video game. So we have those, and to kind of go with the black and orange theme, we're going with HMX KD200 linears. So we had to go old full black and orange, and I'm a big HMX fan, and be able to go with these puppies. I love clacky sound profiles. That's HMX's sound profile. That's what we're going with. So I'm really stoked to get to build with these switches. I actually have a set over here I gotta grab that we're gonna use. So really good. So I have a metric crap load of these. So I bought these months ago as well in preparation for this particular build. So we're gonna put the GMK to the side, and we're gonna get our stabilizers and everything lubed up, and then we're gonna go. So yeah, this is really interesting. This came with a set of stabilizers, and I'm like, can I take a look at them? Because honestly, if these are fine, I might just go with these. Yeah, these I've never used these switches personally. I've had them for months, and I just bought them specifically for this build. Well, I'm gonna say screw it and use these because I have these. I don't know. I have these Type Plus screw-in stabilizers, but these look like cherry. They kind of look like cherry clip-ins, to be completely honest. I don't know. Do I use like the Type Plus or do I use the ones that came with it? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Honestly, I'm kind of feeling Type Plus, to be completely honest. I love... Oh, included? Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, screw it. I'm going to... Vertex, I trust them. I trust what they include. Let me grab my PCB. I do want to check if it's 1.2 or 1.6, because that'll determine if I need shims or not. So we are 1.6. We do not need shims. So there we go. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm stoked this is tri-mode too. So I don't really use tri-mode. The only other I think wireless board I have is my Keycaps the Bass. So this will be nice to have a kind of in a second try mode that's a full size, which will be sick. So I'm definitely going to rock this at work tomorrow. So awesome. So we're going to put our PCB over to the side, and we're going to get these stabilizers set up. So yeah. Oh, so okay, so Type Plus then. All right, I guess Type Plus we're going with, everybody. All right, cool. Yeah, it's solder. I might as well go with the nice stabilizers. It's okay. I mean, I'll find a use for those stabilizers. I mean, I have so many stabilizers on hand. Yeah, so I might as well just go Type Plus. They're nice. Type Plus stabs are sick. So I have 2 packs I got to go through on this one. So let's get them out, and we'll kind of go from there. So we'll start off with these ones. And we'll just get everything lubed up, and we'll get going. So let's get this one going. I'm using dielectric grease. I use super lube for my Cherry MX stabilizer. That's what I kind of prefer. So it's a good time. Like, I haven't had any issues with it thus far. So there we go. Let's get some mixed in there, and we'll be good to go. So yeah. So I prefer dielectric grease. Yeah, I'm gonna build it with stabs I trust. I mean, I have some hot swap boards coming in that I could potentially use it for, like my Matrix Labs NOS. That's hot swap only, which still makes sense. Speaking of the Matrix Labs NOS, the group buy closed for like the Matrix Labs Wing and the macro pad. Which I'll be completely honest, like as much as I love Matrix, the freaking Matrix Labs NOS, the 65% cost $450, which that's not cheap, but the freaking number pad was $350. So you're telling me that the number pad for the Matrix Lab NOS is $100 less in value than the freaking full actual keyboard. Oh yeah, dude, it's a cool product. I think it looks badass, and I would love to have one. Not for $350. That's absolutely crazy to me. Because also, I'll tell you this, like, if I were to combine my Matrix Labs NOS and the price of that numpad, my Matrix Labs 100 NG full size is still cheaper than both of those put together, which is psychotic to me because, like, that is a 4-figure board in terms of aftermarket value. Like, that's ridiculous to me. Like my Matrix Labs 100 NG, which is like an uber rare full size, is worth more than the frickin' is worth less MSRP than the frickin' NOS and the NOS number pad. That's crazy to me. Like you're on crack to me if you think like that is worth it to me. So yeah, so like I love Matrix. I love you, Albert. If you ever see this, I love you guys. I love you at Matrix. But yeah, you guys were kind of I think you went a little crazy on that board. But I think that was the whole point of the NOS, is to be absolutely batshit crazy. But God, it's just the price is crazy, man. The same thing with the Vertex 65. I love y'all at Vertex. I love you guys. But also, like, the Vertex 65, I'm very sorry your group buy didn't meet MOQ. I mean, that sucks. It sucks when a project you put a lot of time and effort doesn't get enough support to, like, actually make it to manufacture. I get it. But also, just some constructive feedback, I would just like to give the the Vertex guys. Like, the 65% market is very, very busy and very oversaturated. And as someone who has a lot of really cool 65s, like, you have to do something kind of groundbreaking and different at this point to, like, come into the 65% space. Like, I think a really good example of a board that really broke boundaries in terms of what it was doing for 65s was, like, the Manta. Like, that bottom weight design and just the industrial design of it and the design language, like, that was different enough to warrant its $450 price tag. Whereas I think with you guys, like, it's a top right blocker 65 that we've seen before, whether it's like the DN Works 925, the Mix 65, the 910, like some of the Kohakus. Like, we've seen that design so time and time before, and that's a lot of people have those boards already. Like, they have that industrial design. So, like, my advice to the Vertex guys, like, if you're gonna try and do a 65%, you gotta go, like, you guys have some really amazing industrial design, and I would really encourage, like, the team at Vertex to, like, leverage the amazing industrial design skills that they have to make something different and unique in the 65% space, like the Manta. Because they have some really talented people there. Like, their TKL they did a few years ago, the Vertex Angle, of course the Seal and the S100, amazing industrial design. They're doing something different. And so I think they really need to leverage that creativity that they have on their team and the people they have access to design a 65 that could be different like the Manta that would get enough people interested and also have a price point that either could be justified or a price point that's very competitive. And I know in this kind of current market, it's really hard with materials, with laws and imports and tariffs and all that crap. Like, I get it. I know it's tough. Like, it's very difficult to run a group buy and from like initial concept and R&D and prototyping to final production and then final delivery to customers. I get it. It's not easy. So like, I tip my hat to the guys at Vertex for doing 2 freaking full sizes at the same time. Like, I know that was not an easy task. Like, that was probably very stressful for them and a very difficult thing that they had to do. So, but I just have a lot of love for the Vertex, but that's just me being constructive with the team at Vertex in terms of their 65% project. Like, I think it was a little too expensive for what it was, and it didn't, in terms of industrial design, it didn't do anything special that we haven't already seen a million other 65s in the market right now do. So I think like definitely take lessons from like the Manta, like what Alex Odos and Bull did, because I think that's a really good example of a 65% that was different. Yeah. I see that the ARC 60 is I think they're doing another ARC 60, which I think would be fantastic. That's another really cool board. Like I said, I'm kind of burnt out on 60%. I have so many, like most of my 60% are Alps. I think my only 2 boards that aren't, my only 2 60% that aren't Alps or Topere are going to be my Piggy 60 and my Rama-Works Thermal. So, but pretty much every other 60 I have is Alps. So, yeah, I have a lot of 60s and I don't think I need any more at the moment. Or I'd have to find something, like I said, like with the Manta, it has to be like really different. I know the Oblique is really, really sick. I'm just either the group buys I want to participate in for the later part of 2025, I'm tied up in. Like, I'm doing the ETAR, like I'm paying that with my own money. I'm doing the BP1, I'm doing the Class 100, I'm doing the DN Works Senate. That basically has me tied up on joining group buys for the rest of the year. I'm not joining any other group buys for the remainder of 2025. And also the Keybay Tech Secret. But like, it's weird because like the ETAR, the Keybay Tech Secret, and the BP1, I'm promoting on stream. But I'm also, to my knowledge, but at least for the BP1 and the ETAR, I'm buying with my own money. I don't know about the Keybay Tech Secret. Who knows? Chester is a cool guy and a homie. If Chester lets me keep the prototype, I would be absolutely down. But if Chester says I need the prototype back, I'll give it back to him. But I don't know. Like, example, like, another thing too is 65% too. For me personally, to join them, I need to have some kind of personal connection to like the designer, and I know I have to be like friends with them. So like the Keybay Tech like Secret 65, I'm doing the project because Chester's a friend of mine. Like Chester's become a really good friend of mine since I got in the hobby. So Chester's just someone in the keyboard hobby I genuinely want to support with my own money and just any promotion that I can do. But if it wasn't, but the Secret 65 was made by anyone else other than Keybay, I wouldn't care. That's just me being transparent. I'm doing it because Chester's a friend of mine, and like I want to support the project, and I genuinely think the board's cool for what Chester's trying to do. So that's going to be a really cool project I'm really excited about. So there's a bunch of really cool projects coming out. Chester is amazing. I mean, he's just a good guy. Like if those of you who may not know who Keybay Tech is, Keybay Tech is based out of Toronto, Canada. And the owner of Keybay Tech, his name's Chester, and he is like a literal man of the people, like a freaking saint. He's like one of the nicest people you could ever interact with. Like the group buys he's ran, he's been very transparent. He has a great selection, and he is just like I think just we need more people like Chester in the hobby. Like I'll tell you how I kind of became good friends with him. So Chester's most famous board is a board called the W70, and it's a board that's themed to the Toyota AE86 from Initial D. Initial D is an anime about streetcar racing. And the Toyota 86 is the car that like the hero of the TV show like drives. So like it's the most iconic car in the show. So like he's a big fan of the anime. So Chester made the board that's like it looks like the freaking car. It's awesome. And it's really so like when I saw the board, I wanted it. But when they did 2 runs of it, and when the first run ran, I missed it, and they only did 100 units. And then when the second run ran, I was in between jobs. and I couldn't swing it. But I went to Keep Life in 2024. What's up, Epic? I went to Keep Life in 2024, and I saw someone who had a W70, and I saw it in person. I'm like, oh my god, I have to have this. So I actually offered to the guy I saw at Keep Life who had it to buy it from him. And he said it's his dream board. He's not going to sell it. But what he said was message Keybay Tech, and he might have it like he may have a unit that didn't sell, or he might be able to work something out. So I messaged Chester at Keybay Tech, and I didn't know him at the time. I just shot him a message on Discord, and a couple days later, Chester gets back to me and he said, "Hey man, like, I have a W70 unit that didn't sell in the group buy from R2. Do you want to buy it?" And I said, Send me the invoice right now. I'll buy it right now. I'm like, I didn't even question it. I sent Chester $450, and I bought the board, and it was really cool. So he let me join like a month after the group buy had ended. He just had a unit that didn't sell, and it was in the colorway I wanted. I didn't want any like the special edition. I wanted like the Toyota colorway, and that was just the beginning of our friendship. Like, Chester's been really amazing with different things, and I joined his other project he ran earlier this year. He did a 75% called the base, which was like a sub $200 75%. I normally don't bother with boards in that price point, but like what Chester was offering design wise, he just made it really fun, and it reminded me of like Matrix Labs and just a really fun design. So like, yeah, Keybay Tech, definitely someone you want to support. Like, the owner is just amazing. He's just a really down-to-earth guy, and I actually did a custom Alps build for Chester as a thank you. I didn't charge Chester any money for that. I just did it as a friend. I kind of got questions from Chester. He's a Mac guy, so I did Macintosh keycaps. We did a Tofu 60% keyboard case, and then we did linear green Alps, and we put it all together. And I mailed it up to Toronto, and Chester's absolutely been loving Alps. So I kind of have a Alps convert in Chester at Keybay Tech, which is really awesome. So like, a lot of love for Chester, and that's like a project I'm genuinely down to support, because again, I'm friends with Chester and I want to support a friend. And like, that's really cool. And also like another board, and like the boards I'm doing too, like on promotion, like, which is going to be the ETAR 87. Like, it's a board I genuinely want to do. Like, I want to do it specifically because of its Alps support. But like, the Bloody Eyes is just a cool dude. He's a really nice designer. He's just a guy doing that in design. Which is really cool. So we got 2 of our 2 stabilizers. We got like a bunch more. We got a full set. We got to do 8 of these damn things. So it's a really cool. So I love design. I mean, the W70 is such a badass, cool case design. Like, it's just so cool. Like, the design is amazing. I mean, crap. Give me a second. I'll go grab it off the case. It's right here. So, I mean, to give the Keybay Tech some love. I mean, those of you who are car fans, like, this thing is absolutely badass. Let me plug this thing in. I'll show you why it's so freaking cool. Let me just get my thing. It's a little dusty because it's been in the case for a minute, but there we go. We got those freaking car lights right there. The tail lights of the Toyota A86. So really sick. You got the license plate of the car. You got the you got the badges that you'll find on the car, which is super sick. So it's a really just tasteful design of a keyboard. And you have the Fujiwara Tofu Shop insignias that are on the doors of the car in the show, which is really cool. And I put GMK Modern Ink on here with HMX Cheese, and this thing is a freaking dream. So I love this board. It's one of my favorite keyboards I own. Like, it's amazing. So like, I definitely a lot of love for Chester over there. Like, really, really sick board. And the board I have off screen right here is the DN Works 02. Another kind of crazy 65% that was absurdly expensive. Like, don't ask. I mean, that was like a north of $500 keyboard, but hey, it's cool. So it's my darling board. So it's my GMK darling. So I had to get a board for the memes for GMK darling. I mean, come on. If you're gonna do an iconic set like darling, you got to get a board that's like made for it. So, but yeah, definitely a lot of love for Chester. Really, really cool dude. But yeah, definitely support Keybay Tech The Secret. If you're definitely in the market for like a 65%, definitely check it out. I mean, Chester's gonna charge, I think, between like $200 to $300 for that board, which I think is a really, really good price point for what he's trying to do with the board and its design and like the material. So I think it's definitely more on the affordable side of what Chester is trying to like do with that board. So like I said, we have the big really exciting stream is the ETAR 87. So on stream, we're going to build it Cherry MX. I have my kind of finalized for switches and what I do want to build it on stream with. Which will be really cool. So we're doing that this Wednesday, September 17th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be the second content creator looking at it. I'm going to look at it before the big boys, before like Alex Otis, before Jay at Prototypes, before Zinwang, and before Black Simon. believe it or not. So I'm looking at it before them, which is kind of cool. So I'm the smallest creator who's going to be looking at it, but like the Bloody Eyes really wanted to send it to my way for Alps. Now, when we do the group buy stream, we're not going to be building Alps because I ordered the plates. The plates had to be custom made for that particular board, and Tom at Hype Keyboards is waiting on the actual plates that are big enough to make that plate. So I don't think we'll have it in time for the group buy. If Tom can get me that board, can send me the Alps plates for the ETAR 87 before the group buy ends, I will definitely coordinate with the Bloody Eyes and like Click Clack to do a Alps promotional stream for that particular board to showcase people who are curious about Alps. Like, this is going to be a really cool board for you to showcase Alps in. And a really cool thing about the ETAR, my friend Carolus actually designed the Alps plate. So I connected the Bloody Eyes and Carolus. So when I reached out to the Bloody Eyes and noticed that his PCB was Alps compatible, he said he's really excited about Alps, but he doesn't have an Alps plate file. And he has no idea how to make an Alps plate file. And I said, hey man, I know the perfect guy who can make your Alps plate file. So Carolus, so I put him in contact. I put him and Carolus together, and Carolus designed the Alps plate file for that particular board. So that's going to be really, really sick. And what's really cool, if you get the plate file for that particular board in the group buy, that plate has Carolus's insignia on it. So the Bloody Eyes wanted to give Carolus credit for the plate. So he let Carolus put his insignia crest on the plate. So that's something that's really cool. That plate was designed by Carolus, which is really cool. And one thing that's really cool with ETAR 87 is it's going to support, it's going to be Win keyless or Win key. And it's an F-row-less full size. But what's really cool is we're going to do a special run of PCBs that support Macintosh keycaps on that particular board. And the Bloody Eyes is going to make a special run of PCBs that support the Apple Macintosh bottom row, because the Apple Macintosh keycaps use a 6.5U spacebar. It's not a 6.25, it's not a 7U spacebar, it's its own thing. So I asked the Bloody Eyes if he would be down to do that, and he said, yeah, I can do that, you just got to get 5 of them. So I'm going to be getting, like, my ETAR 87 build is going to be order is going to be expensive because I got to order 5 extra, on top of the base kit, I got to order 5 extra PCBs. And then I'm just going to keep 2 for me, and just basically much anyone, if I can find 3 crazy people who want to do an Apple Macintosh build with the ETAR 87 who happen to have a Windows key model, sweet. If not, I mean, I'll just hold on to them and wait for like the right commission to come through. But it's going to be a super cool project. Like, I'm really excited for that board. And the fact that I'm going to be able to keep it for a few months until, like Bloody Eye said, I basically can keep the prototype until I get my model in from the group buy. So I think they're estimating Q2 of 2026 for that board to be fulfilled. So I'll have that board for a good while. So we're going to definitely make some fun content out of it. And the Bloody Eye said I can do whatever. Pretty much, I can do any crazy crap I want with that board, which is going to be hilarious and awesome. So I definitely have some cool ideas, and I'm doing I'll do one project with the ETAR 87 prototype. That's going to be kind of a collaboration with Carolus. And once I get all that stuff from Carolus is sending some stuff my way for that particular build, and it's just going to be like absolutely insane. So it's going to be a fun time when we get that board built. So it's going to be 6. We got 3, so we got 5 more of these damn things we got to do. If I can get the little thingies out. Yeah, so that'll be fun. So it's going to be we got a lot of really exciting stuff. And then again, like, we have the BP1, which we're also going to build with Alps, which is going to be a super, super sick project. Like, Luke also, like, I'm friends with Luke Barron, who's doing the BP1. Luke has been struggling to get that to group buy just because of the uncertain political situation with tariffs and whatnot. And Luke was telling me he's been talking with a major vendor. I don't want to say which vendor, but Luke said he's pretty deep in negotiations and discussions with a major keyboard vendor here in the States, who would be down to like facilitate the group buy, which would be awesome because they have like the infrastructure, they have the capital in place to like run the group buy, which would be really, really sick. So that's going to be really awesome. So I'm really excited for the BP1. Luke should be mailing it to me soon. He has to 3D print some parts for the prototype before he sends it out to me. Because the board's built for Cherry MX, but we can do Alps. But the mounting brackets for the for the plate, are set for 1.5 millimeter plates, which is the standard thickness of Cherry MX plates. But Alps are 1.2 millimeters. So it's taking him a little bit longer to get the board sent to me because he has to 3D print the new mounts that will accommodate a 1.2 millimeter PCB. But yeah, we got a lot of exciting builds, and I mean, most of them are going to be Alps. And then again, like I'm joining the DN Works Senna because I talked with Darian over at DN Works because the DN Works Senna takes a standard H87 PCB. So I asked Darian, like, would he be okay like sharing the plate file with me, so I could send it over to Careless and then get that converted to Alps. And Darian said, yeah, he'll send me the plate file, but he's gonna wait till like after the group buy runs. Because the DN Works Senna is going to be a small run. I think Darian's only going to break about 30 boards. So it's a TKL that pays tribute to Archie and Senna, the legendary Formula One driver, which is going to be really cool. So I definitely want to get it. He's going to do a few colorways, but I want to do the Archie and Senna colorway. It's going to be the green and yellow that Senna's helmet was. That was so iconic that he wore when he was racing and still alive. So I do like Formula One, so it'd be kind of cool to have a board that's like themed to Formula One and like themed to like one of the greatest race car drivers of like all time. So yeah, dude, the DN Works Nerve like really is a cool project. Like, that's a super sick project. I think Darian's a cool guy. He's located right here in Los Angeles. And he's a really cool dude. His boards are awesome. Like Darian very much has like a cult following for his boards. I wouldn't say it's like a cult following like Norbauer. Like Norbauer definitely has a cult following of his stuff, but Darian I think definitely had like the people who have Darian's boards like definitely love them, and I wish Darian got a little bit more love. So like Darian boards, like if you see them at meets, you kind of have to know, you have to be in the know of why they're cool. Like someone who's more novice to the hobby, they see a Darian board and like they're not gonna know what the hell it is. But if you're in the hobby and you're like in the know, like oh yeah, Darian boards are sick. It's just like one of the like Darian. That's just kind of what it's like. If you know, you know. That's kind of what Darian boards are. Yeah. So it's a big So Darian's cool. Like he's a really good guy, and Darian's also really good at his turnaround for his group buys. Like he's been pretty good. Like 4 to 6 months has been his turnaround for his group buys. So that's pretty good, especially because it's all Darian doing everything. Like Darian doesn't do a vendor. Darian facilitates the group buy. He takes the money. He negotiates with the manufacturer. He deals with all like handling of like the QC and dealing with any issues that come up, and then they mail the boards back to him, and then he ships them out to customers. So that's why Darian does such a small order volume in such small runs, because it's just him. He's literally just a guy who's passionate about keyboards, who wants to make some high-end bespoke keyboards that are very small run. So and again, Darian's just one guy. I don't think he would probably lose his mind if he tried to do like a big run like an Omni-Type or like a Canon Keys does. Like Darian is one guy. I don't think Darian want to handle an order of like a few thousand boards. There we go. Sorry about that. So that's just the thing with Darian. So like I really have a lot of love for Darian and what he's doing. So he's a really cool dude, and I love his projects. Like I mean, I have 2 of his boards, soon to be 3. So, and they're all very expensive. So, yeah, also another thing with Darian boards, a lot of people gripe on them. They're not cheap. I mean, a cheap Darian board will probably be about $400, and that would be like a 60%. Yeah, no, Darian's really cool. He's a really nice guy. He's pretty easygoing, and his server is absolutely hilarious. One thing about Darian, if you go on his Discord server, like he's also like a big sports guy. So like I love like sometimes I'll pop into the Discord chat and everyone's just talking sports. Like everyone loves basketball on there. So like it's just hilarious seeing like basketball memes or like people talking about like their favorite teams or things that are just crashing and burning in there. So it's like his Discord server is definitely hilarious. So like it's kind of an anything goes in there. Like it's one of my favorite groups of degenerates on Discord. I love Darian's Discord server. So yeah, a lot of love to Darian. And again, I built my O2 on stream. So if you definitely want to just see how a DN Works board is built, like definitely check out my 02 stream. It's a really cool board. Like I think this is a really unique and interesting 65%. And it's themed perfectly to like one of the more iconic GMK sets. So like the Darling is awesome. So yeah, once we get these in, the assembly should be pretty quick. It's just these stabilizers that just take freaking forever. And also it's a full size. We got to do like all of these freaking things. So, which is pretty good. So we're going to get these going. Almost there. Yeah. And again, getting these stabilizers tuned is always a fun process. So once the stabilizers are tuned and installed and screwed in, we should be pretty good to go. But I just want to get everything in there. So I got that one. Perfect. All right. So we're getting it going. So But yeah, this is a really cool board. I'm so excited for this board. Like, I have been waiting so long for these two Vertex boards. Another thing too, these boards took a little bit longer than I would have liked. Vertex had a lot of manufacturing issues and just stuff that came up that they couldn't have anticipated with this project, with this and the seal. So I appreciate that Vertex was transparent. I know some people were starting to get frustrated with this group buy and also the seal because it's taken so long. I mean, we're not dealing with like the dark times of COVID where people would wait like 2 freaking years and still get ripped off. I mean, group buys are a lot better than what they were during COVID. COVID was just crazy. Like group buys are, trust me, definitely better than what they were. But yeah, it's still like this hobby has definitely taught me patience. I mean, especially since I got into Alps. Alps are also very, very slow builds, especially if you're waiting for custom-made parts to come in. That's just kind of the crazy thing with a lot of these builds. But I'm really excited for this board. And also the seal, when I get it, I'm still debating if I do it Cherry MX or I do it Alps. I would need to get an Alps plate made for it, but I really want to put, because I'll tell you, my seal, I want to put Greg on it. That board I got specifically to put Greg on, because I don't see Greg on a lot of like full sizes. So, I mean, I love GMK Greg, and it currently hasn't been sitting on a keyboard because I don't have a board that it really looks good on. And Greg is the bestest boy, so I really want the seal to be my Greg build. So, but yeah. Another thing too, also epic, I know you jumped on a little later, the Vertex S100, Bull is doing extras on this particular, oh, I got a bot in my chat. Thank you, friends. I got a bot. There we go. Hello, bot. Bull is, I got this board through Bull Keyboards. So epic. This board was $220. Bull is going to do a limited amount of extras on this coming Friday. So, I mean, if you're interested in this board for $220, it's kind of a no-brainer. But I also told another person who's on stream right now that one of these boards was on Mech Market earlier this week. It sold for $150. So I do recommend picking up this board if you can, because it's so good for the price. If you're not in an immediate rush to get it, don't worry about trying to pick up extras. Just wait for these to come on Mech Market. The fact that someone was selling one for $150, $70 below MSRP is like crazy to me. Like, and I'll put the case back once we get the stabilizers onto the PCB. I'll pull the case back. Like, the quality on this is amazing. Like, Vertex is like one of the best manufacturers in like the game, like in the keyboard hobby. So like they have an amazing manufacturing capability. So I still don't know how they made this for $220. Because they also ran the seal. Like, how they ran 2 full-size projects at the same freaking time is psychotic to me. Because I think other people don't realize with custom full sizes, most of the ones that have been coming to market have been very expensive, like prohibitively expensive for the vast majority of people in the hobby. Like, the 3 full sizes I've gotten that are custom, like my Linworks Dolphin Max, my Matrix 100 NG, my DNWorks 925, all those boards are north of $600. Like, very, very expensive boards, and that prices out vast majority of people. The seal was $400, which is a little better, but still kind of expensive for most people. But the fact that this was $220 was just, like, psychotic to me. And I mean psychotic in a good way, because, like, that's so accessible. Like, that's competing with, like, the QWERTY Keys QK101, and QWERTY Keys is a massive keyboard vendor with millions of dollars worth of capital to build units at that competitive price point. So, like, that's really, really cool. This was a fully custom keyboard that's full size for $220 with Vertex quality. That's really cool to me. And I really applaud the guys at Vertex for being able to pull that off, because not a lot of vendors can do that. So I think that's really, really cool. So we have 2 more stabs after this. We got to lube up everybody. We're almost there. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, this is definitely a cool board. I recommend if people are looking for a full size and don't want to they want something nicer and more custom, like a QK101 or like a Keychron. This is the full size I recommend most people get. Like, if you want something nicer than that, but also you don't want to break the bank, like going with like the seal or the 925 or like the Linworks Dolphin Max, the 100 NG. Because like I was talking with Cannon Keys at Key Life, and they were showcasing like a bunch of their builds, and they had some prototype boards that they're like working on bringing to group buy, and they had a full size there. And I asked them like, they said like, is how expensive? And they said like north of $600. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Because I think a lot of people don't realize with full sizes, the demand isn't there. believe it or not. And also, they're very expensive to manufacture. Like, these things take up, these are really big cases you're like you're CNCing, and that takes up, like, not a lot of factories have that capability, and that takes up a lot of time. So, like, they're just more expensive because they're longer, they take longer, they're more difficult to produce, and the margins aren't there. Like, it's very low order quantity that people are doing. Yeah, so I mean the M0415, dude, I love that you're posting that with the kiddo. Like, it's super sick. I'm hoping you're loving that board, dude. I hope once your adapter comes in. I mean, I have mine on the back wall here with its little bro. So I love this thing. This thing is so cool. So I love my Apple. I mean, I have one of the OGs. I need a Model M to have, like, the proper OG full size. I need a Model M. Like, that's the OG. But, like, I want a good Model M. Like, a proper Model M is, like, $500-600, and I'm like, I'm not gonna spend that much on a retro board yet. So there's other crap I want to get. I mean, Model M's aren't going anywhere. They've been around for 40 years. They're gonna be around for another 40 years. So that's just the thing with the Model M. I'm not in a rush to get a Model M. I do want one eventually because it's so iconic, and, like, come on, and, like, you need a Model M. Like, there are people who are still daily driving Model M's, which is, like, crazy to me. Yeah. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Oh, crap. And I need to send you, like, the quick instructions you got to do just to make the adapter work. It's just literally just a pin you, like, move over on like, the little PCB it comes with. But, yeah, dude, that adapter is great. It's literally, once you, like, move that switch on, like, the little PCB, it's plug and play. So, like, that adapter is so sick. And it'll work with any Apple keyboard that uses that Apple desktop bus port, which is really nice. So if you were to get, like, another retro or vintage Apple keyboard, that adapter would work with it. So it's not just that; it's any Apple keyboard that uses that that port, which is really cool. So yeah, and it's cool too because the designer of that converter is actually based here in SoCal, which is really nice. So once he gets them built, like, his shipping is pretty quick because we're right here in Southern California. But yeah, for, like, I think, like, $40 or $50, that adapter is definitely worth it to give those old keyboards new life on, like, modern computers. Like I said, I do have a custom PCB coming in from Alec Tardy for my Apple extended keyboard. So I have some other Apple extended keyboards that are coming in for harvesting. Like, my PCB assembly and switches, I'm going to keep that because that's a pristine switch and PCB assembly that I have. And the plate's really nice. So I'm not going to, so, like, I may use the case and experiment with the case, but I'm definitely going to try and find a clapped board and experiment with that PCB because it's going to definitely take some ingenuity and figuring out to get that all to work, which will be really cool. But I'm really excited for that PCB to get in. So I think it should be here Friday. So I'm definitely going to take a look at it and just kind of, if that's going to be a long-term project, having, like, a modern Apple extended keyboard that, like, uses QMK and I can, like, reprogram and whatnot. And if it works out, I'm definitely down to, like, once I figure out how to do it for mine, I'm going to figure out, I'll probably just start seeing if people are interested in having it for their own, which should be pretty sick. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, it's a good time. So we're getting this one done. I think we're on our last 2U, and then we can go to our space bar, and then we can start finally mounting these damn things. So that's the only thing with full size there, but you got to do 8 frickin' stabilizers, which that's way too much lube, but there we go. So we got 8 stabs we're responsible for on this one, so pretty crazy on this one. So that is the joy of full sizes, everybody. So, but yeah, this is not going to be a ridiculously long stream. Once we get the stabilizers mounted, soldering's pretty quick. I'm pretty quick at soldering, so I can make quick work of it. Because, again, I don't have to do any, like, the troubleshooting or checking for, like, faulty switches with ALPs. Like, I just plug and play. Like, I just check them. Like, if I kill something, it's because I did it, not because the switch is faulty. So, and I normally don't kill HMX PCBs. So, here. Oh, did that one not get in? That one did not go in right. Give me a second. Give me a second. This stab did not go in. There we go. Awesome. There we go. Alright, now we can do our space bar. Freaking finally. Oh, heck yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, like I said, like, for me, like, I want, like, a very specific Model M, and it's a rare model, so those are usually around $500-600. So, like, yeah, because Model M's, you kind of have to know what you're looking for, because it depends on when it was made. For the most part, I tell people, if you want a Model M, though, you can get a Unicomp. Unicomp is really cool. I actually have a Unicomp. It's actually at my work. It's actually in my classroom at work. I use it at work, which is really cool. But the Unicomp is really cool because it's the same people. So when IBM shut down their keyboard division in the like late 90s, like beginning of the 2000s. And so what they did is they sold off their keyboard division, but the keyboard division was bought by the employees who made the Model M keyboards for IBM, and then those people started their own company called Unicomp. So Unicomp is cool because it's made by the same employees on the same machining and molds that made the original IBM Model M's. So even though it is a reproduction, it is a Model M, which is super sick. So you can get those for like $150 from Unicomp. And they're based in Kentucky too, because they built the Model M's here in the United States, and I think they also built them over in Europe. Which is really cool. So, but yeah, so that's really, so Unicomp's a really cool little company that still makes Model M's. And it's really kind of cool. Like I like having one because it's kind of cool history because it's made by literally the same employees who made them back in the day on the same tooling and machines, which I think is super cool. So that's part of why I have one. I mean, is an OG Model M probably better? Yeah. But I think Unicomp is such a cool story. Like the employees didn't want to give up on the keyboard division of IBM, so they just said, IBM, we'll buy it. What's up, Welvin? So yeah, we're building the Vertex S100 right now. We're doing my last stabilizer. These things have taken a little forever. So yeah, but yeah, definitely if you want like a cheap Model M that's like new production, definitely check out Unicomp. Like they're a really cool little company, family owned, but it's owned, operated, and run by the original IBM keyboard division employees. So that's super, super sick. So they're a little company in Kentucky that makes keyboards, and their customization is actually really cool. You can get a bunch of different keycaps for that from them and whatnot, and repair parts. So they're a really cool little company based here in the United States that does some really cool stuff in terms of preserving and still manufacturing Model M's. So I think they're really cool. And again, the Model M purists will say like, hey, it's not, you should go with the OG. And I'm like, yeah, but like proper OG Model M's like are expensive, and especially if you take the time to restore it, it's even more expensive. So like the Unicomps are like a great option for people who want a Model M but don't want to like deal with like the hassle of like restoring one or paying a high premium for one that is restored, which is super cool. But yeah, what's up, Welvin? We're building a full size today. We got to do 8 freaking stabilizers here, and we're on our last freaking stabilizer. I'm like, thank God, these are a lot. So stabs, this is probably the most involved part of the build. Once we get to soldering, that's pretty easy. So, all right, we got that. Perfect. This side. All right. But yeah, we got our sponsored stream on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. everybody. So that's going to be super sick, everybody. So definitely join us. We're going to be building the ETAR by the Bloody Eyes, and that group buy is going to be run by Click Clack, which is going to be super sick. So that's going to be our first sponsored stream we're ever going to do on the channel, which is going to be awesome. So I'm really excited for that project. So we're done with our dielectric grease tubey right here. So let's throw that to the side, everybody. All right, let's get my hardware out, and then we're going to get these put together. So let's get our little screws. We don't need our shims for this. Let me just chug the rest of this soda. There we go. All right, let's get this going. All right, let me get my screwdriver out, and then we'll get these ready to screw into the PCB. So, all right, let's get these going. We got Phillips here. So let's put these into our PCB. So this is also a full size. So this is a big boy PCB. All right, Epic, take it easy, my man. You're good, my man. So yeah, we got our big VOD will be on YouTube. So if you definitely are interested in looking at this board and how it's built. So we have a big boy PCB. It's a solder PCB that supports every layout imaginable. What's also cool, it's tri-mode. So we have our little switch here in our indicator LEDs for the 2.4 gigahertz, which is awesome. So the board does come with the batteries, which I think is super sick. So let me just wipe my hands off. I still got some of that dielectric grease on me. So give me a second, folks. So let's start putting these stabs in. And then we'll go from there. So let's get them in there. We got a solder 1.6 millimeter PCB, which is awesome. I like 1.6 mil PCBs. I'm not a fan of 1.2. I just like my thick boy PCBs. So let's put our backspace. But yeah, we got a full complement of stabilizers today on this particular board. I'm just making sure I get everything lined up. So we're going full Cherry MX on this board. No Alps support on this board, but its companion board, the Seal from Vertex, does support Alps. So I'm debating whether or not I do build that as Alps I have it planned out for Cherry MX, but we'll kind of see how I feel. And if I feel like doing Alps on that board, we may do it and go do something absolutely psychotic on that board. But for right now, when I get that board, the plan is to build it with Cherry MX. But we will just kind of see how I feel. So we got a full complement of stabilizers on here. Look at that. 8 freaking stabilizers. Look at that, everybody. 8 freaking stabilizers. Look at that. So, all right, let's get our screws out, and then we'll start screwing these little guys down. So, oh, dude, I got both of them, man. What's up, Rubber Bagel? Yeah, I got both of them. I also have other full sizes in my collection. I mean, I have this one on my desk. I have the Linworks Dolphin Max. I only ran like 50 of these damn things from Linworks. It's their full size. This was also absurdly expensive. This was north of $600. It's a very expensive keyboard. I have 2 other full sizes. I don't feel good getting them out of the keyboard display. Yeah, but full sizes are freaking expensive. Like, that's just the nature of the game. And the demand is not there for full-size keyboards to justify. So, like, that's why they're all small runs, and that's why they're all very expensive, with the exception of this board. This board was $220 MSRP. Yeah. Oh, so I got the seal. I got black. I got black with the yellow brass weight. That's the one I opted to go for because I really want to pair it with GMK Greg. So I felt like a black keyboard would have been a perfect pairing for Greg. So I have GMK Greg. I have the full GMK Greg set. I have everything for that set. The space bars, the novelties, the alphas, all that crap. So Greg is what I want to build it with, but also the board supports Alps. And I'm kind of become the Alps guy, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I really would love to do an Alps build in it. But I only have one PCB. I bought the board in October of last year. And I didn't have the mindset to buy extra PCBs when I did stuff. So I'm really going to see what I want to do with it. I'm going to see if I can get an extra PCB. For example, Bull is I got the S100 through Bull. And Bull, if you're interested in picking up the sport, it's $220 MSRP. Bull is going to be doing limited extras of this particular keyboard right here for $220. A full size made by Vertex on Friday. So if you want to go on Bull's social media and if you're interested in picking up this board, you can get extras of this board on Friday from Bull, which would be really cool. Or earlier on Mech Market on Reddit, someone sold one of these for $150. That's crazy. So if you can't swing the 220 right now, my recommendation is you should wait for the people to get these in hands, both from the group buy and extras, and people are going to start selling these things on Mech Market, and they're probably going to sell these sub $200. So, and honestly, if people like full sizes, they're prohibitively expensive, and that really sucks because a lot of the really cool full sizes, like my Linworks Dolphin Max over here, it's north of $600. Most people, most people can't afford that, and I get that, and I don't hold that against people. But I think this is the full size I recommend people try to track down. If you want a custom full size that's not a Keychron or not the QWERTY Keys QK101, this is the full size you want to get. I think this is an amazing board for the money, for the price. You cannot beat it. So this is what I would tell people to get if they want a full size in their collection. You go after this board. So, just getting all my washers situated. Cool. Yeah, we're just getting all of our washers figured out, and then we're gonna get going. But yeah, this is an outstanding board. I really recommend people pick up this board. If you look at the VOD, will be on YouTube. If you look earlier in the VOD, we kind of break down and tear down the case, and it's really well built for what it is, and the coating is pretty good. The camera didn't do it too great of a job. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I need 4 more. I think they did a really good job with this board for its price point and what they were trying to go for. So this is definitely a board I absolutely recommend. I think they did an outstanding job with this project. Just putting on the rest of these washers, and then we'll start screwing these stabs in, and then we'll tune them. And then we'll start putting switches in and start soldering, and then the build should go pretty quick. We should probably be out of here by the 2-hour mark. Should be a very quick, very simple, straightforward build. This is not going to be involved like Alps or what have you. So that's really nice. So let's grab that washer right there. All right, cool. All right, there are all of my screws. Ow, that hurt my thumbs. So, all right, let's throw that to the side. There we go. All right, let's flip this around. All right, let's just, so the stabs don't fall off. There we go. All right, everybody, let's start screwing these little puppies in. So, do my numpad. We're going 2U on all of our numpad keys, our plus, our enter, our 0, which will be nice. So, really good board. So, yeah, I'm excited for the seal. Click-Clack, I ordered that through Click-Clack, and Click-Clack should have the seals right now, and they're just processing and getting them ready to ship out to group buy event customers. So, I'm really excited. So, they are in the United States. Both of these boards had delays from Vertex. That was just kind of unfortunate, but Vertex is pretty transparent. I know some people were getting frustrated with just how the delays and how long this project was taking. But I also just think Vertex did... The fact that they ran 2 full sizes together is kind of crazy. Most people only do 1 at a time. So the fact that Vertex did 2 full sizes is just, that's a huge undertaking. Like, full sizes are a lot. They're a massive pain in the ass to manufacture. So, yeah, we're just getting these puppies screwed in. But yeah, really nice PCB. I love all the lighting on this stuff. It's going to be super sick. I'm excited for this board. I cannot wait. So we're just getting, I got our numpad filled in. All right, let's do our backspace now. So we're just getting all these stabs in here. So we got a full complement of stabilizers here tonight. So it's a good time, folks. But yeah, those of you who've been tuning in, thank you so much, folks. It's a fun time. This is a Cherry MX build. Again, I've mostly been doing Alps builds, but it is fun when I get to do Cherry MX. And again, when I have the ETAR on Wednesday, that's going to be a Cherry. We're going to do that Cherry MX. I will be doing Alps builds with the ETAR 87. We're just waiting on the custom plates to come in from Tom over at Hit Keyboards. And then once I get those plates, then I'll coordinate with the Bloody Eyes and Click-Clack to do some Alps sponsored streams on those with that board. To kind of showcase what other kind of crazy crap you can do with it, which is pretty cool. So we're almost done screwing in our stabs. Then I want us to do a little bit of tuning on the stabilizers, and then we'll be good to go. So there we go. Getting close, everybody. But yeah, we got a full complement of stabs here. Okay, that's in there. Got our space bar right here. All right, there we go. And then, yeah, this is definitely a big boy PCB. So this is a big board. So, all right, and then almost there. Last stabilizer screws. Cool. All right, flip her over, and there we go. We got our stabs in, everybody. So we got a full complement of stabs here, which I think is really cool. I'm just going to wipe off any excess off of these puppies. So just because we want to make sure everything's good, everybody. Housings are still good. We just want to, anything on the outside, we want to just wipe off. All right. There we go, friends. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of lube just in the wire housings, and I'll rub those in, and then we should be good to start installing stuff. So, yeah, just putting in a little bit of lube here. Then we're going to rub it inside the housing, and we'll be good to go. All right, cool. All right, let's just rub some lube in our housing, and then we'll be good. All right. Let's just rub them in there. Cool. Let's rub it in there. All right. Just rubbing that lube in there. Just making sure we'll have nice, happy stabilizers that don't rattle. So we're coming along, folks. Almost there. It's going to come in from this side. Lube them up. Cool. All right, friends. I think we are done with lube. Get those going. All right. Awesome. So there we go, friends. We are ready to start mounting switches. So we got our complement of stabilizers. So let's get our plate out, and we'll kind of get a look at how our plate shapes up. So I opted to go for an aluminum plate. So this plate is one singular piece, 1.5 millimeters out of aluminum. So we're going to get her mounted. So that looks pretty good. So we got it mounted. We have, so for switches, we're going with the the HMX KD200 linear switches. We're going for a Half-Life theme build. So I needed switches that were clacky and that have a really cool sound profile that it also match my color scheme. So these are really cool switches. So we're just going to put in the corners of our particular plate, and then we'll kind of start snapping stuff in. Well, it's been a minute. Let's see if I can get this in really quick. Give me a sec. Oh, that's in there. Okay. Let me snap a switch in, and then it should make it a little easier. There we go. Oh, of course, I already bent a pin. Wow. Man, I already bent a pin on stream. God dang it. It's all good. It's all good. Let's get that pin unbent. Oh, Lord. There we go. All right, got first one in. And again, we're going with the top four up here. Perfect. All right. Let's get our four corners in, and then we'll kind of go from there. So all right, so we got those in. That is looking really good. So, all right, let's do these other stabs right here. Cool. Pins are going through. Yeah, this is a big boy board, so super sick. So we're just going to put all these switches in. Oh, these are going to sound so good. So let's get our bottom row right here. Let's get our number pad filled in. There we go. Let's make sure those pins poke through. Yeah, we're good. Awesome. So we got all of our stabilized keys put in, and then we're just going to start filling in the rest of the keyboard, which will be really nice. So we're going to fill in our numpad first, which will be really nice. And then we'll get soldering. Soldering is going to go really quick on this board. So again, when I do Cherry MX builds, the part that takes the longest are going to be my stabilizers, because everything else is a pretty quick process. Oh, that looks so sick. so good. Oh, that's gonna be so sick. Look at that. Let me just check my pins. Money. All right, cool. Money. All right, let's do our home cluster. And we'll do our arrow cluster now. Looking good. All right, that is looking money so far. All right, we're gonna do our F row. So that's gonna be awesome. So it's looking good, everybody. We're getting these switches in. So yeah, these HMX KD200s are awesome. I think these were like the perfect choice for this Half-Life theme. So I'm definitely a fan. So let's make sure everything is properly seated. We're almost, and then we'll be done with our F row, and then we start doing our alphas. Oh man, look at that. That's gorgeous so far. So again, don't worry, we have way more switches where this came from. So way more switches. So we are good. Perfect. Yeah, but I love HMX switches. They sound fantastic. And I think these were the perfect choice for this particular board. Looking good, everybody. Oh man, that is just so nice. Oh man, that is sweet. All right, let's put this. Oh, sorry about that. Let's put this one to the side. Let's do. I'm chilling. All right, almost there, folks. But yeah, that is a lot of orange. So. A lot of orange. Okay, let's get out. We're going wing keyless, so we only need 4 more. It's the innermost for these. All right, look at that. That is sick, everybody. That is awesome. So let me just check my pins. You never know. Sometimes you might bend a pin as you put them in. So I'm just checking. That looks good. All right. That looks good. That looks good. Awesome. So we're good. So there we go. So we are ready. I just want to do one last. Let's place this on the top really quick. Yeah. So we're gonna take off this top badge on the Vertex really quick. So I'm gonna put because we're using these screws right here. So let's take this portion off because we are not gonna be using this portion. So we're gonna be putting switches right there. All right, let's pull this off. Perfect. Let's put that to the side. Let's put these over here. There we go. Awesome. Perfect. All right, that should do it. We're good with the pins. We'll start firing up the soldering iron right now. Get ready to solder. Perfect. Let's push that over to the side, friends. I just want to check this top again against my PCB, make sure we're all lined up, and then we should be good. But look at that. So removing that because you see that, everybody? We're going to have a full complement of stuff, which is going to be awesome. So that looks sweet. Yep. That looks fantastic, everybody. That's going to look so good. All right, let's get it going. Let's get the soldering wick. Let's flip this PCB over, and let's get soldering. This is going to be this should be really quick. So let me flip it over because that's just going to make life a little bit easier. Let's get that going. All right, soldering iron is all fired up. Let's get this one going, everybody. So this is a big boy board. So we're going to solder in our first 4 corners just to kind of hold it all in. Yeah, we're good. Pull that one's in. Let's go over here. We got a big boy board over here, everybody. Perfect. Looking good. Awesome. So on that side, let's do these other sides right here. All right. Looking good. Let's go over here. Let's do this side. Cool. Coming along, folks. Coming along. We're just soldering these pins in, everybody. This is pretty quick. That's going good. Cool. Now let me just do these ones, these stabilized keycaps. Second. Cool. Looking good. So we're getting close, folks. Almost done with the number pad. Number pad is almost done. Sorry, the number pad's done. We're just going to do our arrow home cluster, then we'll do our F-row and our main alpha cluster, and then we'll be good to go. So this is looking pretty good, folks. Cool. Alright. So number pad, home cluster, and arrows are done. We just need to do our F-row, and numbers, and alpha cluster, and then we'll be pretty much done with soldering. So making it go pretty quick, folks. And we got a big boy keyboard here. Looking good. Almost done with the F-row. Cool. Alright, F-row is done. We just got to do our main cluster here, folks. And then I think we should be good. This is looking great so far. So let me just kind of readjust my chair. This is like a marathon soldering session when we do these big full sizes. Alright. So we're going fine. Some more solder wick. There we go. Coming along, friends. Coming along. 3 more rows of switches to do, and then we'll be good. Cool. Getting there, folks. We got 2 more rows. Home stretch. Almost there. Cool. 1 more row, friends. Man. Dude, Welvin, you're making me hungry, man. I want fish tacos. That sounds fire right now, dude. Alright, almost done. Last row, and then we can start doing the fun part. Is putting the final assembly, getting some keycaps on this damn thing. So, this is a marathon soldering session, everybody. This is, when you do these big boy boards, they take a while. Thank God this isn't Alps. This would take forever. As much as I love my Alps, they do take time. Cool. Alright, oh my god, that took forever. Alright, let's turn that damn soldering iron off. Holy crap, that took forever. Oh my god. Thanks, friends. Thanks for tuning in. That's like the least exciting but most mundane part. But there we go, friends. There is our assembly. We got all of our little solder points put in, everybody. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful, everybody. I know. Life is good, everybody. Life is good. So, enjoying life, enjoying keyboards, keeping busy. Got some sponsored streams coming up. Big sponsored stream coming on Wednesday, everybody. So, again, we're going to be doing the ETAR 87 from the Bloody Eyes. That's going to be run by Click Clack. I'm going to be one of the first creators looking at that board in preparation for the group buy. Alex Odos is going to be looking at it. Jay from Prototypist. Zin Wong is going to be looking at it. So a lot of really cool creators, and I'm really excited for the opportunity to look at it. So this is my personal S100 build. Look at that black and orange. It's going to go perfect. So let's put the PCB assembly to the side for right now, because I do want to figure out how the hell I put this thing together, because I still don't really know. So we're going to figure it out. Again, this is I literally got, right before stream, folks, I literally had just gotten this in the mail. So, okay, those are my feet. I don't need that. Those are posts. What the hell is this thing? All right, we're going to figure this out. All right, let's get our bottom case. Let's figure that out. All right. There we go. All right. So, I think these are a little grommet thingy-mabobs. These look like they're important. Alright. Oh, these stick. Okay, what do these stick onto? Oh, okay. I know where these go. Okay. I think that's how that goes. Let me see. Oops, wrong way. Okay. Cool. Figuring it out as I go, everybody. So life is good, everybody. So we're just figuring it all out as we kind of go along. So this is going to be fun. That one was right there. That one's right. Ah, goes right here. Okay. There we go. Okay, and that one goes right in there. Okay. So that goes, where the heck does this go? Let me see. Figuring it all out, everybody, as we kind of go along. I'm making it up as we go. I think this would go right here. Figure it out. Let's figure out these things. I actually love, Kuro, I actually do love jazz, my man. That's like, I'm a big, like, metalhead and, like, rock and roll fan. So, yeah, dude, jazz was, like, one of my foundations helping me just kind of discover my love of music. So, played in jazz band when I was, like, going through high school and whatnot. So, yeah, a lot of love for that. I mean, jazz, you definitely have more of an appreciation if you definitely played it. Because it, like, it influenced, like, so many other amazing genres of music. So, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Absolutely. So we're just getting these little socky things on, these gasket socks on the PCB. I mean, I could have done this plateless if I wanted to, but I like plates. Okay, let me see how this goes, because there's... Okay, let me see. Okay, we got that. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I already heard my pogo pin going. Hell yeah. I already heard the pogos going. Oh, that goes on top of the LEDs right there. Okay, cool. That just protects the LEDs. Awesome. So let's put these extra thingies in here. I like keeping my extra parts. Let me just put my extra screws and whatnot in here. Then we'll get ready for final assembly of this puppy, everybody. All right, look at that, friends. So let's put our top case on and we'll kind of see this puppy come together. Oh my gosh, this is... Oh my God, look at that. All right, we're gonna get our top case screws in first. So let's dump these out right here because we need 8. So this is kind of a weird, how this board goes together is kind of weird. I was telling you, those of you maybe who are here for the beginning stream or those of you who tuned in, you have these hidden screw design on the top case. But then you have screws that screw into this board at the very bottom, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, you either go full hidden screw or you go full exposed screw under like the case feet or whatever. But, like, it's kind of weird. I personally am not a fan of hidden screw designs, but hey, to each their own, everybody. So to each their own. Okay, got that in. Then we'll put these ones in, then we'll put the feetsies on. Okay, that case is, top case is secured. Let's put the bottom case on. And then I think we'll be good to go. So let's put our bottom case screws on. There we go, and we'll put our little feetsies on. Yeah, very interesting choice, to be completely honest. Well, do you know what's funny? I'm a teacher by trade. I teach history. So I'm in my 6th year of teaching. So yeah, thanks, Kuro. I am a history teacher. I teach 8th grade U.S. history here in like the Los Angeles area. So I've taught middle school, I've taught high school, I've taught special needs students. I've taught math, I've taught science. So I've taught a little bit of everything. But yeah, the teaching is you have some good days, you got some bad days. But at the end of the day, I love working with young people. I love working with kids, and my middle school kids are hilarious. They're weird and they're wacky and they're a blast to work with. So are they for everyone? Absolutely not. They're a handful, but I love working with them. So let's flip this puppy around and we're gonna see the kind of the final reveal of this board done. Look at that. Oh my God, that is sick. So here we go, folks. I still want to test it before I put my keycaps on. That's just the Alps person in me has kind of conditioned me to do that, but that looks so cool. Again, this is their Half-Life colorway. When I show you all the keycaps we're going with, it's gonna be awesome. You can also see that glitter, very reminiscent of like matrix coating. So really cool board. $220 for a fully custom full size from Vertex. So really awesome. So let me plug this board in, and I want to see the LEDs are all working. Everything's working correctly. Okay, Pro Gamer RGB on the front's working. My LEDs are working right there. Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, we got our Pro Gamer. Volume buttons are working. So we're going to go, I'm going to double check if this is via. Yeah, so, hey man, yeah, like I said, like I teach history. I mean, I've also taught science and math before when I was a special ed teacher, but yeah, fun times, man. Again, I've definitely had a fun career so far. Okay, so I think this is a vial PCB, unless they didn't flash the damn thing. Hopefully they flashed it, because that would be fun. Oh my God, do I have the JSON file? Okay. Alright, I don't think I have the JSON file. So that's fun. Okay, fun time. So I'm going to go into via stats. I still want to test this damn thing. So I will have to get the JSON file at a later time. I'm too lazy to get it right now, but I do want to test everything. So frow. Okay, that's good. All right, that's good. Let's test my home cluster. Oh, that's sick. I got to show y'all this. So, so when I press the num lock, one of the lights on the... So I want to orient this up. So there's this LED indicator right here. When I press num lock, that's my num lock indicator. That's sick. That's cool. All right, that's just a little cool touch. So I have to get the JSON file at a later time just to figure out everything is dialed in. Let me check my volume up. Volume down, volume up. Cool. You play pause. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Those are good. Ah, crap. Okay, give me a second. I'm just testing my keys really quick. Yeah, I definitely have to do some reprogramming because it's not exactly set up the way I would like it. But yeah, so far everything should be fine. This is Cherry MX. Like, but I also just like testing stuff. Yeah, these switches sound awesome so far. So once we get these keycaps on, these are going to be amazing. All right, we're good, everybody. Everything works. So that is fantastic. So I'll put my O2 back. Sorry, my 02. Oh, gosh. So how many keyboards? So Kuro, I've made a lot. Like, I mean, if you check my Instagram handle over here, Finley Design Works, you can see my entire personal I post pretty much my entire personal collections on there. And then also, like, pretty much all the commissions I've done for people are on there as well. So I've lost count, but you can go on my Instagram, you can do a count, and you can kind of see all the cool and crazy crap that I personally own, and then all the cool crazy crap I've built for people. All right, folks, let's get this keycap set, and then let's get this stream finished, everybody. We've been on here a little longer than I thought I would be, so let's get this on here. So let's do these keycaps. We're going GMK Carbon. So this is a badass GMK set. So I want to get my stabilized keys on first. Oh, that sounds so good. So let's get our stabilized keys on here. So yeah, we're going any orange accent keys we can get, we're going with. So I think we're going to go with this orange enter right here to really be carbon. We're going with orange arrow keys. Of course, we have to. Oh my god, this is going to be so sick. I am so freaking excited for this board, dude. I truly cannot express my excitement for this keyboard. I have been waiting months for this particular build. This is just so it's hard to contain my excitement for this set. I am just so freaking excited for this one. And we're going with this gray. So one thing about this is my Half-Life keyboard. My avatar on social media is Gordon Freeman, my all-time favorite video game character. The wrong man in the right place can make all the difference in the world. So really, really beautiful board. I'm very excited to get this one. Yeah, really excited for this set. So let's get my controls out here. Let's get my novelties right here. All right. So, oh, that's going to be sick, everybody. That is going to be so friggin' good. Oh, I am so excited for this keyboard. Oh, that sounds great. Looking amazing, everybody. So, got our main cluster being done, then we'll go to our home cluster, and then we're going to really kind of show you all how this build is going to come together. So, yeah, fun times. But yeah, also, Kuro, if you're still on here, like, I do keyboard commissions, so, like, if there's something crazy custom you want to do, like, especially, like, with Alps, like, Alps custom commissions is what I really kind of have come to specialize in. So, if there's something, like, insane you'd want to do with Alps, like, absolutely reach out to me, man. Like, I would be happy to do something crazy and insane for you. So, let's get our full numpad in here. This is going to be amazing. So we got our numpad. So good. Let's get our home cluster in here really quick. So we want to delete and page down. Home and then insert. Now we're going to do something crazy for the top. So we're almost there, friends. Almost there. This is a sick keyboard. I need to get my novelties out, so let me get these organized really quick, because there's a specific way we want to do these. All right, give me a second, friends. Ton of these novelties we got to get out because we got to use them all. Oh yeah, dude, I've been doing some hello chocolate keyboard. So I mean chocolate pudding. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining the stream, friends. It's a good time. Thank you. There's many things you could have done this evening, and you chose to come here and hang out with us crazy people. So thank you so much. So really good times. All right, let's pull these out, and we're gonna pull out these novelties because we're gonna fill this whole F row and home cluster with novelties. So I want to kind of plan out and kind of figure what crazy combination we can do with these. So I might have to pull up the GMK Carbon like diagram for this set because I want to do this really cool. So this is going to take some thought on my part and how I want to organize these little buggers. So give me a second, friends, as we can get these. So one thing for sure I know that I want to do, I want to use my orange Half-Life logo right there. So that's going to be to bring Gordon Freeman properly into this. And then I want to look up GMK Carbon really quick. So give me a second. I want to look up GMK Carbon. Okay. So GMK Carbon. Okay, let's go to novel keys. Perfect. I'm very glad I got this one when I did. We got the C database. Let me see the novelties. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, there's a metric shitload of these things. All right, cool. All right, let me kind of organize these. So I'm going to go exclamation point. We're going to go this thing. We're going to go that explosion. And then we'll do the fire. Okay, next one will be this toxic one. The lightning. We're getting there, everybody. Bear with me. We're almost there. And then the X. And then the freaking laser beams. And then we'll go this one. This one. And skull and crossbones. Awesome. And then we're gonna repeat again. What? Exclamation point. That, and then explosion. Then we're gonna go gray up here. Honestly, we might just go full orange here. Let's see. No, we can't. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second, friends. So fire. There we go. Give me a second. I'm figuring this out. Give me a second. Oh, I know the laser beam's super sick. I'm just figuring out what novelties I want to go with. Give me a second, friends. But yeah, this is looking, oh, so good. So good. I'm just trying to figure out my novelties. There we go. So we'll go hazmat. Lightning, X, and laser beam. All right, friends, I think we figured it out how we want to do this. Yeah, that looks pretty sick. So let me put my rest of my novelties away, and let me put GMK Carbon away. I just want to carefully put this set back because I love this set so much. So one of my all-time favorite GMK sets. Yeah, so that's pretty sick. Let me get the box back because GMK packaging sucks, so I want to be very careful with it. But yeah. All right, here we go, friends. It is a Half-Life keyboard, everybody. Oh yeah, it's Gordon Freeman, dude, without question. That is my. I've been wanting a Half-Life keyboard for so freaking long. I mean, that is my all-time favorite video game series. This is sick. So this is GMK Carbon, the C database with the GMK Carbon novelties. So, and this is the Half-Life colorway of the Vertex Intro S100. So really, really sick board. It fully works. I tested everything. This is a great board for $220. If this is a board you are interested in, I got this from Bowl Keyboards, and he is doing a run of extras of this board at MSRP this coming Friday, September 19th. So if you're interested, this is the full size I recommend people get. This is awesome. I also want to show you all the lights. And what's cool about this is also supports 2.4 gigahertz wireless, which is super sick. So it's cool. You have some RGB. I need to get the JSON file so I can program the RGB. I just want to set it to orange. And then also too, the numlock indicator. The light's down here. So if you press numlock, that's your number indicator. That's your light indicator. So that's super, super gorgeous. I love this keyboard. It turned out really, really nice. So I'm going to unplug it, but we're going to do a little bit of a sound test. Oh yeah, we got Rainbow Unicorn Puke, everybody. But yeah, this is a great board, folks. So let's just do a little sound test and we'll get going. All right, folks, that is fantastic. I mean, we just had an influx of people come on in, everybody. I'm sorry, but that's the end of our stream. The VOD is going to be on my YouTube channel a little later this evening. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who tuned in throughout the stream. This is a fantastic board. I just want to say, everybody, I'm going to be doing my very first sponsored keyboard stream for the Bloody Eyes, promoting the board called the ETAR 87 this Wednesday, September 17th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to be doing a build promoting the ETAR 87, which is going to go on group buy with Click Clack from September 25th to October 15th. So it's an F-Rollless full-size keyboard that starts at $355 for the base kit, supports Cherry MX, Alps, and Topere. So I'm really, really excited for that stream, and I would love for y'all to spread the word. And please join us in stream on Wednesday, September 17th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be an awesome board, and I'm really excited for our first official sponsored stream, everybody. So have a great evening, everybody, and have a great rest of your day, everyone.